Hello and welcome to my podcast where I ask what it means to live an authentic life. Join me as I explore this question through the lens of human design, AHAMA, psychology and neuroscience to let go of who I thought I was meant to be in order to feel safe and empowered to be who I am. Thank you for being here, and if you find this episode helpful, please like, review, subscribe and follow the show, and for more information see isaijael.com. I hope you enjoy. This is something that I want to share after speaking with a friend earlier, and it got me all fired up and angry and passionate, and reminds me of why I started Safety Sisters and why I behave the way I behave. And I feel like this is applicable and important for everybody, but I'm directing it towards women, not directing it towards women, but like I am a woman, so therefore like my experience has been as a woman, so I can only share from that perspective. And it's this like, God, where do you even start? Like trying to find your way in an industry, any industry. I mean, you know, I talk about the events industry or crowd safety or security or whatever, but it's every industry, right? And what is industry anyway? We're all people with different views and perspectives. So are we even, anyway. And this deep pain I feel when I hear stories from other women about how they don't feel seen, they don't feel recognized, they don't feel respected, they feel dismissed, judged, based on how they look, based on the fact that they're not a man, and that their needs are dismissed, their concerns are dismissed, and I'm sick of it. And I think we're all sick of it. And what I have been doing is I thought that I could kind of fight my way right through. And I want to caveat that I am not dismissing or judging any man, because I don't think this is like, we're all in this mess together and the only way out is together. And I feel like what stops men, especially white men, from engaging in this is because they're feeling blamed, when from my perspective I recognize the ignorance. They don't know because they were brought up a different way, and the working world was created, the modern working world was created by men on men's cycles and men's ways of living. And so to them, it's, you know, like, what's the problem? This works for me. Whereas we women work differently. You know, men's hormonal cycles are 24 hours, women's are 28 days. We're completely different. We've different ways of working, different energies and different kind of focuses and ways of being. And not to say that this is binary, by the way, but I'm working with what I've got. So I'm doing the best that I can in how to sort of communicate this. And it really boils down to boundaries and respect. And so many women who I connect with, and I'm lucky to know, are allowing themselves to be walked all over for the sake of getting work or getting a job. And I'm kind of at this point where I'm like, you do not deserve this. You deserve to be respected. Do not put up with this. Do not put up with anybody belittling you, anybody making you feel less than, and anybody who makes you feel unsafe. We deserve to be in an environment where we are honored, where we are respected, and we also deserve to honor and respect other people. But we will not be able to find that utopia. It's not a utopia. We will not be able to find that kind of dream come to life if we keep putting up with the way things are now. If we keep staying quiet, if we keep violating our body's needs and walking over ourselves. And Eleanor Roosevelt. Nobody gives, oh, come on, that would have been a really great moment if you just roll that off your tongue. Nobody can make you feel inferior without your permission. As within, so without. If we are walking over our own needs, that is going to be reflected out. Nobody will be able to push that boundary or cross that boundary unless we have already crossed it ourselves. And this is absolutely not to blame anyone or ourselves, because I can see that coming. This is called taking responsibility. We all have to take responsibility for our part in this. And it is so, so important that we establish our boundaries and we assert our boundaries. And yes, that risks upsetting people. And you know what? If we want to find a way out of this, we're going to have to upset people. And remember, at the end of the day, if we do something, if we make a decision that is correct for us, it's okay if the other person gets upset because it was correct. If they're getting upset, they're getting triggered. And that is their stuff to deal with. But if we do something that is correct for us, and I mean that respectful to us, I'm not saying go out there and make decisions from the mind to purposefully go out of your way to hurt someone. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. I'm talking about listening to our body, mind, or our heart mind, or I don't know how you want to word it, but the body's intelligence, that you feel the quiet, yes, no, like honoring that feeling of when something isn't right and not making a decision or saying no when something doesn't feel right and making a decision to say yes when something does feel right, and then feeling into the nerves of pushing our boundaries in a growth perspective. But I think the number one thing, like the baseline here, is if we want to feel safe, it's checking how we feel in the environment. Are we putting ourselves in the wrong environment day after day after day? Are we putting up with behavior that is crossing our boundaries? Are we able to make a decision and say, no, I am not putting up with that. No, I am not doing that because it is not correct for me. Or not engaging with someone who is crossing our boundaries, whatever. By staying quiet and putting up with it, we're never going to change. We're only allowing it to perpetuate and then handing over this world to another generation who is going to have to deal with the same stuff, same situation. I'm trying to not use swear words. From my own experience of 17 years of working in one industry and feeling ignored, belittled, less than, not climbing the ladder, not getting anywhere, working really hard and achieving some amazing things to then be completely dismissed and ignored. And walking over my own needs because I believe that in order to get anywhere, I need to do as what someone else wants me to do. Oh, that actually makes me feel so icky. The ick is information. The bitterness is information. The frustration is information. The disappointment, the anger. These are all alerting systems that tell us something is off, and we need to put our needs first. We need to put our health, our well-being first. And from my own experience of how I've been able to get out of the mess that I was in was by every single day, little by little, ignoring this mind, because it is not here to be in charge. It is here to be a servant. It is here to be a tool. It is here for the other to be able to engage with the world. It is not here to be turned inwards, right? Things go crazy. We cannot solve anything at that level. There is nothing to solve. One for another day. Every time I connect in with what my body says, and every time I wait, and every time I don't put pressure, and every time I just connect in and like hold off, because like a fly, from making a decision, hold off from the pressure of making a decision and wait until it feels good in my body, my life has changed. For the first time in my life, I can say I value myself. I can say I respect myself. I can make a decision and take an action that I know is correct for me and I know has upset other people, and I am okay with that. Because I'm not doing it for anyone else, I'm doing it for me. And the more we can start listening to the body intelligence, the body mind, however we want to call it, the more the head mind starts to quieten down, because the captain is back at the helm. The body knows what is right for us. The mind doesn't, because it's not the mind's job. And every single woman, every single person on this planet deserves to be loved, to be respected, to be honored, to have integrity. And we can start moving down in that direction by making our own decision to not put up with something that crosses our boundaries. To not stay quiet and take it because we think that's how we're going to get ahead. That is not how we're going to get ahead. That is how we are going to fall apart. Because that is how I fell apart. The world is waking up to this, and we can see it everywhere, where all of this misbehavior and boundary crossing is being called into light. With documentaries and things of every industry, even down to the entertainment industry of, children's TV shows and how child actors were treated. So it's everywhere. We're all doing it. We're all walking over our own boundaries. So it doesn't matter what industry we're in. The only person who knows what is right for you is you. The only person who can make a decision for your life is you. I don't know what's best for you, your boss, your parents. They don't know what's best for you. We are not here to pander to some other person, to live on their schedule. We are here to live in our own authority. We are here to live a unique and authentic life. We have all been given a gift, something to share with this world. Every single one of us, or else we would be here. We're here because we have purpose. We don't need to find that purpose, quote unquote. It's already there. We just need to take all the muck away from that purpose. Everything we have is already here. And, so many people talk about this. I mean, Gabor Mate talks about it, about the, coming back to an authentic self. And, it's so obvious when you think about it, of all of this conditioning we have. We're conditioned to be homogenized. We're conditioned to be like everyone else, which is crazy. We are here to be unique, or else we would be like everyone else. We were conditioned because as children, we had to do as the parent figure, authority figure said in order to stay alive. And so the saying goes, what we did as children to survive, we need to unlearn as adults to thrive. because as we then become adults, we can let go of that. We don't need to seek permission from anyone else. It's the guiding, the authority was always here. But we've all this conditioned behavior because we felt like we needed to fit in, we needed to be accepted, because it's a vulnerable thing. So it is totally okay that we are in this mess because it was always going to happen. So now we just need to take these gentle steps to get out of the mess. And I am giving this information to offer a potential way out that has worked for me. To me, it comes down to we have one life. It is relatively short. It is very short. Relatively, very, very short. Time is relative. We deserve nothing less than to feel at home and safe in ourselves, and safe to be ourselves, and empowered to be ourselves every single day. Of course, it doesn't mean that like once we have found that or removed all of the mud to reveal that we're not going to have pain, suffering, grief. Of course, the point of life is that we have all of these things that we experience, but it means that we're in our integrity. The captain is still in command of the ship, that even when we're going through dark moments, we know how to take care of ourselves. We know how to support ourselves, and that we know how to seek help when we need to seek help, that we're not looking for the answer outside of ourselves because we are safe at home in who we are. We are safe to be who we are, and that it is okay to be who we are. And that actually, when we do find it safe and okay to be who we are, we can celebrate that, and then other people celebrate that. And wouldn't it be wonderful if we could come to work or connect with family or connect with loved ones, and we all were able to respect and be considerate of each other's natures of being and well-being and our decision making, respect each other's decision making and respect each other's process, and not try and fix the other person because there is nothing to be fixed. So I'm going off on tangents, and I may not publish this because it might be a bit all over the place. It is a bit all over the place, but I'm really trying to, I don't know how else to like hone in on the importance of integrity and boundaries and respecting and honoring your own boundaries. And by doing that is to just listen into that body mind, listen into that feeling of like, when something goes, then, don't do it. I don't know, we've got a day full of meetings and you want to stay in bed. What if you stayed in bed? And even if that's too scary now, what if you gave yourself the option that you could stay in bed? If it's too scary to take an action, we'll take a step back. Give yourself the option of action, because already that starts to loosen the grip of this belief that we have that keeps us small. We feel trapped somewhere. Give yourself permission to consider options. Walking out, of course everything has a consequence. Everything we do has consequence. But just in your mind, just think, I'm not going to show up for work today. I'm just going to walk away from my family. I'm going to just play with the thoughts and see what comes up. We have everything that we need to get out of this mess. We have everything that we need to live a life authentic to us. We have everything that we need to be respected, be honored, and to live a very fulfilling life, and to be able to do what brings us joy, what brings us happiness, and then have that resilience that we know how to take care of ourselves when things are challenging. And that everything is exactly as it should be, and where you are in your life is correct. And anything that's difficult or challenging is an opportunity to learn and grow, because or else it wouldn't be there.